Hi, in this video, I will show you how to use Byteline's data sync to synchronize data between MySQL and Google Sheets. So here is my setup. This is my database, and so I will log into this, and I have products table. So what I will show you is, so we will sync products from MySQL to Google Sheets, and this is my products table in MySQL. So this has ID, which is a auto increment number. This is the primary key of the database, and then it has the name, description, price, which takes decimal, manufacturer, and rating, and this is the last updated field. So this field is required for MySQL data sync, and the basically like whenever you create or update a row, so this so MySQL updates this field for the timestamp. Now on the Google Sheet side, so I have this sheet which has like partial number of records. So I only have two records, but on the MySQL, I have 8 rows. Okay, so let's configure the sync. Um, so this is Byteline's console, and when you log in, you go to the dashboard. It takes you to the dashboard page, but then you can click on the data sync menu to come here. So now let's configure the sync. So we'll start with MySQL. So this is our first step. Now let's select the schema. So in my case, it's this first one. And now the next one is Google Sheets. Um, and then, so I have already connection to Google Sheets and MySQL. As you can see from this connections tab. So Google Sheets is there, and for MySQL, you have to configure the credentials to your database. Okay, so let's close this. Next. So on this page, we will map the tables that you want to sync. So I just have one table, products. So let's select the last updated column for MySQL and the sheet from Google Sheets. Now, one of the requirements for Google Sheet is, as you can see from this message, that it needs Byteline's add-on. So let's go to our sheet, and the way to install add-on is, so you go to extensions, add-on, get add-on, and here you can search for Byteline. And this is the add-on that you need to install. And in my case, I have already installed it, so I'm going to close this. But so after the installation, you have to go to this menu and click on open. So once you open it, it opens this panel on the right side with some basic instructions. And all you need to do is click on the add columns. So now this adds these two additional columns on the Google Sheet. And these columns are just to manage the record ID and the last updated time for each row. And if you want, I mean, you can hide these columns. So now let's continue here. We'll click on refresh. Next. So now on this page, so this is the field mapping page. So by default, based on the name of the column, so we automatically do the matching. But one of the requirement is for the historical sync. So historical sync is basically that you want to sync your existing data. So the data that you already have in the Google Sheet and in MySQL. So this historical sync will sync that data. And the requirement for that is you have to configure the column based on which you want to match the data. So in my case, I'm going to use the name, which is the product name. And you can also use multiple columns if you want, but usually you will just use a single column. So after that, let's click on save. On this page, it will show you the preview of what will happen if you perform the sync. So with sync, so first is gonna perform the historical sync. So after that, the sync is gonna be on, and then whenever a change is made on either side, it will update the other application. So now it's saying here that it's gonna so on the MySQL side, it will update 2 rows, and on the Google Sheet, it will create 6 records. So which sounds good because we have 8 rows on MySQL, and on Google Sheet, we only have 2 rows. And it's updating on MySQL because some of the data that were so this description was updated on the Google Sheet, so that description will go to MySQL. And then you can also configure if you want one way or two way. So that was on the screen before this. So by default, it shows two way, but it's up to you if you want to just configure a one way sync. So let's start the sync. Historical sync is complete. So this is our Google Sheet. So now it has all the data from MySQL. And it also turned on the sync. So after this, so whenever any change is made on either side, the sync will happen. So here you can also look at the change history for each change. I mean, you can expand this and it shows like what exactly was changed. So now what I will do is I want to show uh, the how the sync will happen after a sync is live. So there are three kind of operations: create, update, and delete. So I will perform this operation on the MySQL side, and I want to show you like how Google Sheet is reflected for this. So first thing we can do is we can delete one of the rows from here, which is I mean, we can just delete this last row. So yeah, I'm just gonna use the SQL command to delete, but you can feel free to use any MySQL client. So we deleted this row number 8. And on row number 7, let's update the price. So instead of 39, we can set it to 59.99. Okay, and then let's also insert one record. Um, so that way we will cover all three changes or type of changes. So I already have the SQL. So insert into products, name, description. So these are all the columns and these are the values. Okay, so now this is our updated data. So this is the row that we inserted. We deleted row number 8 so that we don't have anymore. And then this number 7 row, yeah, actually this is number 7 here, this whole data. So here we change to 59.99. And this is the row number 9 where the price is 7.99. Okay, so now let's wait for the sync to happen. So with the case of MySQL, it works by polling. So then we have to wait for around 5 minutes for the poll to happen and this changes to be updated. Okay, so now a few minutes have passed and our sync has happened. So we got one create, update, and delete. So let's look at the create. So this was the item that we added, Amazon Basics mouse. The item that was updated, So we update the price of the item, so that's reflected here. And then this item was deleted. So now you can also see the corresponding changes in the Google Sheets. So we have the this mouse here, and the item that was updated. So value changed to 59.99. So that's this one. And we and the record that was deleted. So that is also gone. As you can see from here, so the name Blooms Rose Artificial Plant with Pot. So this is not here. Okay, so please let us know if you have any questions. But that's it for this video. Thank you.